What's up, guys? It's time for the new tier list at Anime Last Stand. We finally showcased all of the new units, so let's get it started. But before we do, remember, on the road to 1 million subscribers, we're making insane progress. We're trying to hit 1 million subscribers before May, so we can do the 1 million Robux giveaway. It's gonna be split up between a lot of winners, so you guys have a pretty high chance of winning. Let's get it started. All right, so first up, we have Zoro. All right, if you guys don't know how to get Zoro, I'll show you guys how to get him as well. You can just get him from story modes, and you're gonna get him from legend stages, Oni Island, Act 3. You're gonna do it about 25 times to get both of them guaranteed. Not bad. All right, as far as stats goes for our boy, all right, I'm gonna be honest. Unfortunately, I rolled off of him trying to get an actual good stat, so he actually has a pretty bad stat, but you guys can kind of see his damage is actually pretty freaking good. Very high DPS and a very good effect with mutilate, etc. So very highly recommended units. And he is a nature unit, so I will say, as far as nature units goes, he's actually one of the best nature units in the game. I don't know if I'll put him above Wukong and Giorno and Zamasu, but he's up there. I'm gonna say he's top 4 nature units, potentially with the ability to move up later after some more testing. All right, next up we have Kaido. If you guys don't know, I just dropped my showcase for Kaido. All right, you guys can check it out right here. And I'm going to show you guys some of the Kaido stats, because you guys are probably wondering, like, how good is our boy Kaido? So let me go show you guys Kaido's stats. So Kaido actually has some pretty freaking insane stats. All right, look at these stats right here, guys. 107 million base damage, and that's for the wrong guy. That's for Zoro. All right, 71 base damage, but he has 2 status effects, making him a really good support unit, as well as this passive ability. So I'm gonna be honest, guys, not only is he one of the best DPSs in the game for his element, which is dark, he is also a meta support unit. So I'm gonna actually put him twice on this list. So remember, he is a very, very good support unit. I'm gonna be honest, I think he's probably up right around there for support. And as far as dark units go, there's not really a whole lot of good dark units in the game. So he's actually, I'm gonna say, ooh, he might be better than Ichigo. He's right up there. I would say he's at least bare minimum top 5, and might actually move up a little bit higher as far as dark units go. All right, next up we have Luffy mid Evo, which is actually surprisingly good. All right, if we go over here to gear 4, stage 4 Luffy. All right, you're gonna see, look at his max stats, very, very good. His base stats aren't bad either, and he does have crippled, and he is actually pretty cheap to place as well. So he overall 750 to place is not bad. So he's actually a pretty decent starter unit. So as far as ranking him on the list for light units, he's actually pretty high up on the list. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna say he's up there at the bare. Okay, I just, like, for some reason resolution just went to crap, but he is absolutely right. Pucci, honestly, Pucci has a good ability though. I'm gonna be honest, I think he's probably up there with Pucci and Gilgamesh as far as how good light units are. Very, very strong unit. All right, next up we have Gear 5 Luffy. This is the new Godly in the game. And I bet a lot of people are wondering, like, how good is the new Godly in the game? And actually, of course, guys, you already know, we got the showcase for it. Yes, sir. So I actually just dropped that showcase just a little bit ago, right before filming. And he's actually very, very strong unit, guys. Very, very strong. Look at these stats, guys. He has the best nuke in the game. Very, very strong. Now, I'll be honest, his base DPS is actually kind of weak. 153 for 3.5 with no status effect, which is a bit disappointing. So the thing is, as far as, like, light units go DPS wise, he's still really good. I'd probably put him probably second best for DPS. Light unit wise, he's actually probably the best light unit in the game, up there with Dio. However, his base DPS is kind of low, but I'm going to put him in the support tier, mainly because he absolutely shreks bosses. So if you're looking for a boss killer, he's like the #1 to go. And as far as overall list, he's definitely on the overall list pretty dang high, thanks to his boss killing abilities. And honestly, he might even be #1. Like, I'm gonna say he's probably like top 3 overall. As far as overall for Kaido, I'm gonna probably put Kaido like right around here. All right, next up we have Sanji. Now, honestly, I was shocked at how good Sanji was. Like, if we take a look at my showcase for him, I compared him with glitched Escanor, and you guys can kind of see, like, his stats are absolutely crazy. And he also does buff Escanor as well, thanks to his Blue Flames ability, which is actually insane. So as far as fire units go, like, there is no question he is up there with Escanor. Him and Escanor are up there. And I'd say, as far as, like, ranking them, he's up there with Escanor, if not better than Escanor. So definitely one of the top 10 overall units in the game. All right, next up we have Usopp. Now, I did showcase Usopp, but unfortunately the person I showcased him with did not really have a good trade on him. So it was a little bit hard to get a judge on it, but honestly, he was surprisingly good with no trade. He has a, look at this, guys. Look at these stats, guys. 20.7 million damage and 29 million at max. And that is with not Overlord. So he's doing basically like 200 million infinite range. So he is another great boss killer unit. So yeah, we'll just pretend this is the Evo version. I know it says mythic on it, but I'm gonna be honest, he's very, very good for nature. I would say as far as nature units go, he's definitely up there, probably right about there. He's more of a boss killer unit, so it's kind of hard to like put him in the rankings, but like he's definitely more of a boss killer oriented unit, but still a very, very strong unit. And honestly, not a bad starter as well because he's very, very cheap. So speaking of starters, let's go take a look at the starter tier list. So we're going to base this off of the official tier list. Give me a second. We're going to base this off the official tier list. So the official starter tier list is right here. And you guys are probably wondering like what are good units for like raids, etc. So I'll talk about which of the new units I think are good for raids. So let me just duplicate this real quick. There we go. All right. So as far as which units are good for raids, etc., there's actually a lot. So Usopp is definitely very good. I believe he's hybrid off of Rip. I'm trying to remember though, but I will definitely say he's very, very good for this. Honestly, he's probably right around there because he hits the entire map, which is very, very useful. Zoro's also pretty good, but I believe he's ground off Rip. So I'm gonna put him up there as well. He's very strong for starting out. This guy's a little bit too pricey to start out, but Sanji's also not bad as well, but he's kind of a little bit too pricey for me to put him as a starter unit, but he is technically affordable as you're starting out. And Luffy's actually pretty good as well, but he is ground off start. So I would say he's probably up there as well. So these are actually some pretty decent starter units. Meta support units for story though, obviously like this guy can kill bosses. Honestly, all of them are pretty good. Like I would use any of these guys for like late story. They're all good for late story. So nothing really to comment on there as far as that goes. Now, as far as what units I would get in this update, honestly, every single unit this update is actually good. So I would definitely recommend getting all the units. And thankfully, the raids and stuff are pretty easy to macro. So you guys should be able to cook on those. So I'm very excited for that. As far as status effect goes, there is some new status effects in this update so you guys take a note of, like blue flames. And I believe some other units, I think also Kaido has some new ones. So they're actually very good. So they're actually going to be up there with pretty high up there on the tier list. So make sure you guys get those. Because I would say the one thing I like about this update is every unit had a kind of like a unique passive that made them cool. So they did a really good job with that. Now, I know you guys are probably wondering what's in the next update, Blam, and I honestly don't know yet. So I will have to keep you guys posted on what's in the next update. But also one last thing, I guess, before we lay, I'll probably make a dedicated video on this, but they did release the meta overall list for like beginner players. So if you guys are like a new player just starting the game and you kind of want to know who to get, this is kind of a good option to go for. Tatsumaki is a great banner unit to get for your first Celestial. Idol and Yojin are great for your first ever money unit. Speedwagon is very easy to get for my units as well, but it's pretty easy to get gems in this game. So. And also one unit that's not on this list is Zamasu. He kind of carried me early game, and Zamasu does of course have that nice Evo, but I think he might be limited now. I'm not sure. Guts also is very good as well. He's not too hard to get. If you can Evo him, they buffed him, so he's meta in World 2 now as well. So these are like your go-to units if you guys are if you're looking for a good unit to get in World 1. Tatsumaki is kind of my go-to if you're a new player. Very good to get. And Gojo also does have that later evolution as well into the ultimate. So I hope you guys enjoy the tier list, and I will catch you guys in the next one. And don't forget to subscribe so we get that 1 million subs so I can get that 1 million Robux giveaway. Peace out.